No? Oh, alright. Are are we live? Yes, so we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an exciting Saturday stream where today we are doing a sci-fi double feature. That's right, with our usual Saturday slot open and available. Until I've really settled in on a game, we've got a few things to try out. The first game we're going to be playing today was a suggestion handed over by you guys on Discord. A newer kind of sci-fi visual novel esque sort of game. You'll definitely understand it more as we get into it, but it's a very story driven choices and watching your timing on everything sort of game. And then we're going to be taking a quick break before shifting on to another sci fi boy, and a very different style at that, a first person survival game. RPG survival, I guess, called Prey. And this game I selected myself because while working on a contract for updating games for backwards compatibility, I had a rather long pass on Prey. But when you're testing a game, you're very much focusing on getting from point A to point B the whole time as quickly as possible, just to ensure the general functionality of frames per second and overall stability was the pass I was running. So I never really got a chance to check out a lot of the features, side quests, and things you can do in Prey. So hopefully today I'll be able to get a couple of hours of a little deeper look at this game. But, before we get into our first game of the day, I do have a question for all of y'all this Saturday, which is how are you all doing? How have your weeks been? How are your weekends shaping up to be? And most importantly, who all is excited for an extra long weekend? Because much like many of my American friends, I got Labor Day Monday, which means I have an extra day off. So step one, I get to do a longer D&D session this Sunday as I get to run things just a bit later. But number two, that does mean that there might be a chance of something a little extra happening on Monday. No promises at this stage. There's a couple of things that might have to do IRL that day, but we will definitely see what happens. I've heard good things about Citizen. Hell yeah. I mean, it was one of y'all, Little Pink, who ended up suggesting this game specifically, and, well, I liked the idea of a cool sci-fi double feature. I haven't done anything. Very glad for that. Oh, I think I know who might be raiding now. Oh, really? Did someone very important just happen to go live? I mean, that does raise an interesting question on what you guys want me to do for my break. Because honestly, I didn't have any plans. We could stay live if you guys don't mind a hour of mostly dead air that you are free to ditch and go do other shit for. Or I could close it down and restart it whenever the second part happens. Junie's going live right now too. Oh right, today she's doing her little science stream, I think. Nearly forgot about that, but that's gonna be cool. Yeah, I think in that case we might end up doing an actual gap between the two streams just so we can go ahead and raid her ass. Staying live would be good for point farming. Oh god. Oh, you cretins. Yeah, there's no way we're staying live for an hour. Unless I can think of something cool to do. Maybe map build in D&D? I don't know. We'll just have to see how we're feeling once we get there. but, I suppose that's really everything we've got going on for announcements and getting into things. So perhaps it's time. Oh. That seems a little loud. Let's turn audio down just a tiny bit. So, just as a heads up, like I said, for Prey, I did have a week-long pass on it, so I have a little bit of an understanding of it. And I did play about half an hour of Citizen Sleeper after I got it, just so I would be not totally flummoxed by what's going on, and I could get an idea of about how much reading is going to be happening. And heads up, y'all, it's going to be a decent chunk of reading, at least at the beginning. But I hope you all are ready for us to get into Citizen Sleeper. So at the beginning of the game, we get to choose one of three classes. Each of them is going to give us a +1 in one of 5 stats and a -1 in the other. And I'm thinking I want to go with the machinist personally. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. I think arriving in a random sci-fi world, being able to rip apart and understand machinery, spaceships, and shuttles seems like a very, very useful skill. This will give us a +1 to engineering, which is our work with machines and physical tools, but a -1 to our engage, approaching a problem head on. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. This will give us a +1 to interface, working with digital interfaces, and a -1 to endurance, your strength or strength of will. And our final starting option, extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high levels of endurance. Obviously, this will grant us a +1 to endurance, but a -1 to our intuit, our approach to problems with awareness. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with machinist, just it feels like the broadest, most useful starting ability. Not quite sure what they mean by approach to head on as well. So the fact that we don't get a -1 to like awareness, endurance, our ability to interface, seems like this one's going to leave us a really good broad opening and have a really stable start here with a +1 to engineering. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful of the dulled nature of your new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know as pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning, delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. You most remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited, and once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be at that grim and heartless rock. Even in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached your destination. Hey there, crazy. We are doing actually a double game feature today, so an extra long stream, which means... yeah, I'm gonna turn that down so I can have all the other sounds. There we go. I think that should be pretty good. So because we've got two games we're streaming today, I had to start a little earlier to make sure there'd be enough room for everything. That's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. Okay, a couple of hours, Terramon. My guy, come on. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again, recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes. Cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints released from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer until a haze of dirty yellow. A figure appears. You are out. Alright, y'all. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper. We have arrived here on a structure called the Eye. And on this structure, there will be many events, people to talk to, quests, and the like to go on. As you can see, we can scroll along and reveal more portions of the Eye. But for now, we are actually locked into a small segment of this massive ring. As right here, there is currently something blocking our exploration further northward. So for now, we'll have to click on the only option available to us. Dragos. Hey, where is the line between a couple and a few, Terramon? And I'm not more than a couple of hours. 2 hours and some change. That's what's happening. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You're surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of shit, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where plasma arcs slice them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, Sleeper, you thawed out yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have been better preserved in zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to a hull plate or stuck inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of the symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. What happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corp. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, well, that's theirs now. You're just, well, software. A rogue emulation. Illegally possessing corporate property. You're not alone. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You're an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. No easy way to put it, that body of yours falling apart. The same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNARP, wants to protect their property. When they can't keep hold of you, well then, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it, from the other sleepers. Planned Obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station you'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I got things to get on with. There's an old freight container I've been using as a storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Hey, Spring King, how you doing? Something wells up inside you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Alright, you hit up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drone already converging on a rustling hulk. Plasma flashes silhouette his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Arlen's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to end the cycle now. So yeah, this game is essentially organized into two types of time cycles, which they're going to go even more into detail, but for now, I'm going to explain a couple. Hey, Marcy, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm real excited because we're doing a double feature of sci-fi games today. Absolutely exciting. Let's see here. So the first and most obvious is essentially the day cycle. You have a certain amount of hours in the day or a certain number of cycles in the day. When you get to the end of it, you'll return to your empty container and pass the cycle along. I'm kind of into this game and haven't played it, so I'm out. Have a good stream. I'll be back for prey. All right, Golden God, you go protect yourself from the unfortunate spoilers that lie ahead. Let's see, I played through almost every storyline of the base game, as far as I know. Ironically, Drago's first storyline is one of the ones I missed. Okay. And Sour, thank you for sniping out Spring King for us there. Hell yeah. So, once we want, we'll go into our container and we'll pass the day cycle. But also within each day, there's essentially hour cycles, where we only have so many actions we can do within a day before we'll have to pass it on. But all of these cycles also will begin to overlap and mesh together. You wake, curled up in the corner of a container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you waken now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything there's a life for you to build. Before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Yeah, Spring King. New emote. I've been talking about it. Finally went on to Etsy and bought a snipe for y'all so that we can actually acknowledge that shit when it happens properly. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood as you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygon shapes, like angular suns burning your mind. Yeah, I greatly enjoyed the game. Explores a lot of my favorite sci-fi tropes and concepts. Oh yeah. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking, before you begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Hell yeah. So, welcome to the main action economy of the game. As you can see here, we've got 3 major resources we start each day cycle with. The first is condition. This top segmented orange bar marked as flickering. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to the corporate pharmaceuticals that keep you alive. That's right. Over time, our body decays due to planned obsolescence, as we were made by Apple. So we need to find a way to get Apple components to us. That way we can try to trick the sensors inside our body into thinking we aren't replacing them with something brand new. The second piece of economy we have is action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll action dice. These can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. As you can see, our condition bar has gotten here. So we are still inside the 4th die slot by only 1 segment. I imagine as soon as our condition goes down by 1, we'll only have 3 dice to work with. Once you've used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Now that isn't technically true, actually. In this game, you'll encounter some places like shops, markets, and a few other individuals that will let you interact with them for resources like money, rumors, intel, or other objects. While these might not do the same level as most actions will, these will not pass time or do anything like that. They do have an ability to affect market cycles and to give you resources. So while dice are one of your action resources, other resources can sometimes be used to complete very specific actions as well. And now our final resource, this white segmented bar, is energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. So keep ourselves fed or everything will start falling apart very quickly. All right. Let's go ahead and leave our cube, and Dragos is stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sitting on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container ain't much, but it'll keep you safe. So, I'm gonna chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alrighty then. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these all holes down, sell them off to the shipyards or bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to manual labor, and obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits are these. He pulls out a hand of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back into his pocket. Dragos, trading in cryptocurrencies. Would you replace body parts with cybernetics? I mean, obviously now, no. I don't know if we got good cybernetics now. But like sci-fi world, I think there's definitely certain things I would do. I think personally I'd be a lot more drawn to like internal organ augments, you know, than really externalized augments. Because like my eyes, ears, sense of smell and touch all definitely can be improved. They're decently okay now, and for like improving your eyes, I'd almost rather put like a goggle thing over them than to full on replace them, you know? But like upgrading the function of your internal organs seems like something that's like crazy useful. Shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on quick as you can, and sleepers, well. But, things being the way they are for me at the yard, I need help. Happy to. Oh, okay. Look, just come on down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's, plenty to do. Will do. So, like, artificial liver? Like in Repo Man? Miss a payment and suddenly your cybernetics don't work? Goddamn. Alright, y'all. Can someone tell me if fucking Repo the Genetic Opera is on Amazon? Because if it is, I might fucking have us do a watch party of that. That is, like, my favorite goddamn opera of all time. I absolutely love Repo. That fucking weird, made during the goddamn writers strike by, like, entirely written by this rock metal band and made into a movie by the guy who did the set work for Saw. That movie is so insane, and I fucking love every second of it. Looks like it's time to get to work. All right, and with that, we'll take a quick look around what we can see on the eye. And it looks like we've got two things we can do. We can go ahead and head into Dragos's yard. And we're going to start by taking a look at that because that'll explain a bit. Google says it's on Amazon for $4. Oh, fuck. Shit. I think I might know what I'd want to do Monday now. Oh no. We're gonna have to look up how to actually do that shit, but do you know Twitch lets you do Amazon Prime watch parties where you get to stream? Like each individual viewer's gotta buy the movie themselves, but like we could have chat, I could be talking to y'all. Damn, that'd be cool. I'll look into it, y'all. So let's check out Dragos's yard, because this is where we get a lot of important explanations. Actions are the primary way to interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag chosen action die to the slot. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcomes. There are 3 types of outcome. There is the yellow positive. The action goes better than expected. The white neutral, the action succeeds. And the red negative, the action fails. Action dice will affect the outcomes as follows. And here you can see when we roll up the die, and the die kind of reflect a percentage chance of success. However, there's also skills and risks. Actions display information about their risk type here, and the skill level modifiers that apply to the action. Either critical or repeatable critical actions can only be performed once. Risk can be either safe, risky, or danger. With safe actions, when things go neutrally, there will be no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. These are the kind that it's best to use your 1s and 2s on, since even if things go wrong, there shouldn't be a big negative to it. Risky is where outcome means cryo or energy loss. And with danger, when things go bad, you could lose condition, cryo, or energy very easily. The skill that this action requires, either engineering, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. A -1, 0, +1, or +2 is added to your action die when slotted and improves its value. Some actions will require a +1 to perform. So, getting our ability to get a lot of these things into +1 or +2 territory will be really useful for doing actions. Yeah, I feel like cybernetics combined with like planned obsolescence, forced updates, subscriptions, and whatnot just seems like a recipe for disaster. On the other hand, I'm going into robotics, so maybe I could just develop my own. Hell yeah, Spring King. Save us from the Corpo future. So you can see we've got engineering where we got a +1 in, and an endure. We could do either of these actions, and either of them will basically cause us to gain cryo, which is the money we're working with, because right now we're at 0 cryo. But also, each time we perform an action, you can see these two actions are directly connected to this cycle down here, back in business. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. So as we perform more actions in this location, we'll start progressing this clock as well, and when it reaches full, something new will happen. Likely positive. A lot of the times when these clocks finish up, they unlock even more actions for you to perform, basically upgrading the location through your continued work there. Imagine having council decides for this game. Damn, dude. So here we can see risky, but we have a +1 in engineering. So this is probably, let's just take a look. So if we put a 1 in here, 50% chance of neutral, 50% chance of negative. And same for here. Now if we go to the 3, looks like it's all the same. So even though this boy over here is safe, and this one's risky, the dice are going to have the exact same effect between them because of our +1 to engineering. So since the risky one is likely to give us better rewards, I'm thinking this is what we'll end up focusing down. But before we commit to that, we also had one more location where I want to check out, which is the low-end gate. Yeah, so this is what's blocking us from exploring more of the ring. So we have to pay a toll of 60 cryo to move on and to keep going. So we're really locked into just working here on Dragos Yard, which I don't mind too much. I'm gonna hold on to this 1, or I guess we'll just plug the 1 into the safe? Alright, let's do one action here that has a 75% chance of nothing negative happening. And we'll just see if that kind of unlocks anything else to do. Oh, hell yeah, in yellow, we got a good outcome. And as you can see, that progressed this other clock by 2. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clock will be displayed on the icon for that location. So every time we pass a day, someone calling in Dragos on his debt is going to keep ticking upwards. So with that, we made ourselves 15 cryo and 2 progress on back into business. So let's just see if just doing that alone has, and it seems to, have unlocked some new places for us to check out. Something funny that happened to me today, I was messing with some settings on my computer. It was telling me that my computer did not have the system required to run Windows 11 I didn't really want to anyway. Hell yeah, dude. Guess you don't have to do the Windows update. Hope everyone in chat is doing well. Hey, Chaotic Owl, my guy. How are you doing? It's been a hot minute since we've seen you. Is my schedule just usually a bit late for you, my guy? How have you been? What all have you been up to past couple of weeks? Oh, here we go. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuit of specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on a location that will help you pursue your goals. Access your drive menu when the arrow button on the top left of the screen. So you can see we have received our first drive or quest, essentially, which is survive. We need to find a doctor to help us deal with, well, the fact that our body is programmed with planned obsolescence. All right. And it looks like we are breaking from the absolute basic tutorial then. So let's just take a quick look around. So nothing really down here. We got a shipyard we could check out, just like Dragos' yard. It looks like here we've got risky and a dangerous job, assisting shipbuilders and haul materials. And it looks like as we work here, we can unlock the ability to become a yard hand. The only way to get to know the shipyard is to work there. No tourists here. So this might be another good way to earn cryo, maybe even faster than Dragos, but we'll have to see. What do we got here? The Hellion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hellion systems are rare, but they will return eventually. Okay, so yeah, so we have here a dock. And I think this little circle means that this is a cycle. So every time we cycle, this is going to progress until eventually a merchant's going to show up. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Eric, which starting build did you choose? Machinist. It seemed like if we were going to be going to a station, being able to rip apart ships or work with equipment was going to be a good start. In fact, let's take a look. Hell yeah, and as a machinist, we also start with efficient extractor. There's a chance to gain random scrap items on engineer actions. So we do really want to hunt down engineer actions, whether it's with Dragos or the Yard, because they have a chance to give us random scrap. But let's see here. Interface, you have a chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Okay, so it looks like when we can upgrade and put things in, we'll be able to get a trait and move from a +0 to a +1 or a -1 to a 0. No! Okay. So looking at our -1, if we put a point into engage, we'll move from -1 to 0, but we won't get the trait. Then we could upgrade to get the trait, and then you upgrade to get a +1. Okay. Photosynthetic skin, sunbathed dice action allows energy recovery at home. So we won't have to pay for food, but we will have to use our actions. So depending on how much food costs, if actions are going to give us more than enough money for food, this almost seems like a bad choice to try to photosynthesize. I guess unless you like roll a 1. Oh, predictive reasoning. Dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. That seems really useful. Knowing ahead of time all the possible outcomes of each option. Like, I don't know how much detail to go into, but I'm thinking going into, like, engineering and into it could be pretty useful. Re-roll all of your dice once per cycle. So if we get a shitty roll, we can just re-roll. You keep 2 die even when you're breaking. Agent nodes give double OTA. So I guess that has to do with whatever the interface action is. Interesting. So in order to get a +2, we're going to have to drop 2 points for the second trait, and then 3 points for the +2. Huh. Interesting. Was it? Okay, so there's 2 docks that can have merchants showing up. There's still that gate and a rotunda. Ayo, War Doge! I'm doing well. How are you doing? Steel dock plant. -1 in-game. Yeah, definitely not doing that. Explore the rotunda. And we can go on the Haven Age watch list. Runs the rotunda. Their security watches the dock. Better to avoid attracting the... Okay, so if we fuck up here a lot, we go on a watch list. Oh, so it's even better because we don't even have to re-roll our good die? Oh, yeah. We're gonna go into it. We're gonna try to get the fucking free re-rolls then. Free re-rolls and prediction? That seems really powerful. Dock Watcher. Getting to know the rotunda just means new places to visit. It means keeping your eyes on new arrivals too. Alright, so this will probably tell us more about upcoming merchants and give us new places to explore. Seems like going here will unlock shit. But we do have a drive to visit the doctor. And every time we complete one of our missions, we end up getting points to upgrade ourselves. So I think focusing some drives early will probably be pretty useful. We got 2 energy points, so we won't starve today. Alright. I'm willing to drop my 4. Is the 3 the same odds? Yeah, the 4 and the 3 are same odds. So we'll start with the 3. Oh, hell yeah. 2 points into local knowledge. So 1 more success. And how bad's the 1? 50-50? Nah, we'll save that 1 for a safe job if we can find something. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. That means our energy is fucking low. Oh, wait. 1 explorer was all we needed? I thought we needed to get the local knowledge thing, but no, it looks like the doctor's actually just available. Next comes a call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. The enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense inputs or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you made note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway, and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. and for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. "Come, sit," calls a sharp voice, as you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, then quickly regain their composure. "Please sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on the station?" they ask, the scanner still to their eye. They nod. "It's good you came to me. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm, roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. Essen ARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which Essence Art remains the sole producer of. Sound familiar? Good. That may help. They swap to your other arms, running some thin metal devices over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they meant for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status, and Essenarp has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if apologizing again, but they stop themselves. "I know little of this is of use to you." They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. "I may be able to help," they sigh. You see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. "You know Toshiro outside? He works for my benefactor, Yadigan. They're influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. But Yadigan has connections, smugglers from Starward Belt, mercenaries working for corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance." Sabine sets down the slate, their notes complete. "This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it." Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled with shadows of passing drones. "Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead." You nod and leave Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up to the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Alright, so it seems like we're gonna have to wait 3 cycles until Sabine's got anything looking at this. So next thing's next, let's get some fucking food in us. Emphis is busy, his broad face uplifted by a makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing the metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. Stack of chits rattle in his apron pockets as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped, rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye and best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through the heavy spacer slang. Eventually, your turn. You shuffle to the front. Emphis speaks in a deep, even tone. First try is free. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. Earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat of the burner's like a bonfire. Your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Emphis says while he cooks. Hard life. Lots of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. You begin to tell him about your journey to the Eye. He nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold dark of the container, the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the Eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hands. Next time we can talk some more. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and shuts off. The roars, the flame, and the impressive heat fades. Next time, then, sleeper. Emphis is great. I'm liking him so far. He waves you away, begins to oil the walk before you turn back to the alley. You notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded by a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away. As you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Oh shit, that gave us a drive, right? Oh no, drive unlocked, not drive completed. Alright, so we want to get to know Emphis. How do we do that? Alright, so if we eat here 4 times, looks like we'll get to know Emphis. Repay Dragos. Help pay off Dragos' debt. Alright. And survive. So survive is going to be waiting 3 days. To do Emphis, we're going to have to pay, but it looks like that gives us a lot of energy, so we don't want to end up overpaying for it. So if we're going to push ahead on a drive, I think it's going to be Dragos' yard, and we'll drop our 1 on the safe option, so even if things go negative, it shouldn't be that bad. And things went well, so a +1 to back to business and 10 cryo. Hell yeah. So that's all of our dye used up. We still haven't really checked out the shipyard that much, but it also seems like since we unlock things, the more we do jobs, we really probably want to focus down some areas in this game, you know? Trying to get areas like the market, the stall, rotunda, Dragos's yard, and the shipyard all unlocked and leveled up. It's going to take a hell of a lot of actions. So we're probably going to have to divide it up amongst all those locations. Yeah, so no reason to buy more food with only 1 energy missing. We haven't found anything else we can spend cryo on. We have no more action die, so I think... Oh, shoot, not leave. It's time to end cycle. Down 2 energy, and it seems we moved from flickering into fading. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves. Threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth, black liquid. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see and feel the map of the station. No, not a map. The map of its connections. It is a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It is an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, a territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body. Both yours and not yours at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you. A shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind. A storm of connective nodes, waiting to be explored. Then it's gone. Weird. Cool. Fuck yeah. Alright, so we could go check out the shipyard now, but I'm thinking I want to focus on our drives here. So, first things first, I think we have enough to pay for food, and we're missing 3, so let's go ahead and see how much that actually fills us up. 3 energies. Perfect. Okay. And we got a fungus fan. So we progressed this, and we still have all of our action die, though we have a 1 and a 2 today. Only 3 die. So here we seem to lose 1 of these a day. So we've got 4 days before we lose our 3rd die. Though I think Sabine is going to have that stabilizer before then. But we're probably going to have to pay for it now that I think about it. Almost forgot how good the pros in this game are. Yeah, that's very poetic. Alright, so we'll focus down Dragos as well. With our +1 turning a 2 into a 3 and a 1 into a 2. Damn, not quite great on the 1 into a 2, but 2 into 3 is pretty decent. Hell yeah, bit back in business, bit more fucking cryo. Beautiful. Now we got this one. Just 50 negative, 50 neutral for both. So we'll take the riskier, because this will probably have a higher reward. And if we're really lucky, then again, I think only the positive are getting us 2. I think the neutral only give us 1, so we won't be able to finish this. So I think instead, we might see if we can... Where was it? Here, I think, is where we had almost finished an exploration. I think we'll take the risk here. Because that'll finish it if we get it. Hell yeah! Local knowledge. What's that? Do we have to, like, leave and come back, or... Oh! We got +1 drive? Hey, Dragos. Build a ship mind. Alright. You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you can build a ship mind core. Gain access to the Orb Fabricator. Or the Ort Fabricator. So we can go to the Ort Exchange. We can sell components, which we don't seem to have. Or we could play the exchange. Wait, didn't we have... There's a chance to gain scrap on engineering actions. Alright. So let's see... This is engineering, right? Okay, so this has a chance of getting a scrap, which we can then sell at the Ort market, which is here, to try to unlock the Ort Fabricator, or whatever it was. We're now out of dye. Only thing we could really spend 40 credits on would be food, but we're full on energy. And we are still waiting for the dock, so I think we're gonna have to end cycle right there. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of threads across the ring, through these forms, then leap into the void. You begin to understand these are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here. And lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There is so much here. So many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across the ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see 2 lines, 2 threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. Neat reading? Thanks, son. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The first thread leads out away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They're in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange, angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Well, something bad's happening. Hunted! Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Oh, thanks! Cool! Glad to hear it. Oh, the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data, but be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle the view. Okay. Yeah, warning, danger. Something is hunting us, I guess. Alright. Ooh. Hello and welcome. The gate. This gate, you need one Haven Age cipher. I got credits. Do you like credits? What is this? A keynode. Haven Age agent. Oh. Okay. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must use dice on the display. Alright. If you have a +1 or 2 to interface, you'll be given more dice possibilities. Okay. Well, it seems like they're probably going to use... that seems to be like a use for your low-level die, then. Because I want to make some progress with these bitches. Because we were really close with Dragos, right? Our doctor's still looking for meds. We can buy food. You know what? We'll start with buying food. No, because the food could do up to 3 energy, so I don't want to spend money and waste. Because we're only going to lose 2, so we won't be starving after 1 day. So here, we could explore some more places. But let's go ahead and do some engineering jobs. See if we can get some scrap to start messing with the orc market. And that +1 will turn this into an auto positive, yeah? Hell yeah. Which gets us back in business. Oh, shoot. This is blocking. Damn. I think I only got... Damn, still only cryo. Haven't gotten any fucking scrap from those actions. Oh, here we go. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She a beauty, ain't she? Drago stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it's lowered into the yard. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggled to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What do you mean? I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. Dragos, you did what? Are you on a spaceship or a space donut? Space donut. We're on a ring. They bring spaceships in here and they get salvaged, it looks like. My boy, Dragos? When you brought me on, you told me you were in dire financial straits. What do you mean you got an entire ship on credit? Dragos? Well, may have done well, but can't afford a down payment on this one. Don't worry, we'll make it back once we chop this beauty up. The ship creaks like a caving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help on this one. The drone starts crawling over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of the dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside the container, the wreck of Essen Arp freighter, lowered into a yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Was the container delivered to Dragos on its own? A womb for your rebirth into the strange station. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? Let's fucking do it! Hell yeah, Dragos. Real beauty. Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and slip out the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Oh shit, we got an upgrade point! Fuck yeah! Alright, so 1 point, I wanted to go into it so we could get the predictive, the +1, and the reroll on die. All sounds fucking amazing. Though at some point, getting a +1 in interface is gonna make all that spy shit a lot easier. Well, let's check out Dragos' yard now that it's upgraded. So we can do Intuit for the forensics, or there's now a dangerous engineering job. 16 cryo, and we get yard clearance. Dragos' nerve. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence on the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got like 12 fucking cycles before we let... Yeah, I think we got plenty of time for this. So Winter Light. Safe. So we got a safe into it and a dangerous engineering. So it seems like that'd be pretty good. We could explore the Rotundra. We could, we have this free 6. So even for, like, shit we're not good at, we could play the exchange, try to get some trusted trader benefits. Though I think just doing engineering jobs and trying to get scrap to trade without risk seems like the better option to me. So we'll use the 4 here since we got a +1. +2 to yard clearance, plus cryo. Still no scrap. Oh, wait. Oh, this is a whole drive. Is study it? Shit, I should have checked that. And I guess I'm down to use the 6 for this. So we'll start ripping it apart and start studying it. Oh shit, that got us a scrap? God damn it. Should I have been doing that then instead? Alright, so now we can go to the Ort Market. Shove a scrap into here. Make even more cryo and earn a point in Trusted Trader. Fucking hell yeah. That gives us 83 credit cryo. We got one more day. This is basically a ring world, right? Yeah, we're on a Dyson ring right now. So I have no clue how much the stabilizer is going to cost when she finds it. So we're going to keep holding onto our cryo for the most part. We're not going to pay to unlock more areas. So if we're not going to pay to unlock more, we have no dice to do explorations. We just sold our 1 piece of scrap. I think then we are going to go ahead and just have to end day here. Alright, we're now pretty hungry. We got a 3, so I might check out some of the data shit, see if any of them will take a 3. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up! Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. You do now. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back at the container, shaking his head. Rough. They're gonna be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. Glances back at you. Well, do our best, but it isn't easy. Haven Age. We're all one dysfunctional family. I'm not part of the security branch, though, don't worry. I'm with systems. Everything the eye runs on. This place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss, though. I saw you around, and, well, I know a little about you, Sleeper. I have a little proposition for you. But this ain't the place, okay? I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then when you're settled in, stop by. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. It's not a Dyson ring, as that would be around a star. I guess fair enough. I don't know. So just superstructure ring? I don't know if there's a specific name for then a free floating ring. I mean, it would have to be near a star, right? Otherwise, where would it be getting all of its energy from? For like heat, lighting, everything like that, all the basics? You'd want it situated at least near enough to a star to be able to siphon some shit, right? Alright, so Fang needs a couple of cycles to set something up somewhere? Gotcha. Oh shit. Well, we can go to the doctor finally. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eye in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark as you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yadigan... We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar parts is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode your organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. I'll start with a small dose to limit the risk. I think you're right. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. The sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? The stabilizer is genuine. I don't know how Yadigan got acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Oh, hell yeah, we stable as fuck. Ring worlds are around stars, at least the original one was. I think you are referring, to a Dyson sphere. The other option is basically an extension of a space elevator, a ring suspended from the planet itself. That's true. I just think for anything as large as a space station ring like this would need to be, it would need a major power source, something that you wouldn't want, like, wholly externally dependent on, like, refueling, which is why a type of Dyson sphere is a overlapping system of rings, but you can also just have a singular ring around a planet. The main, or around a planet or around a star, but the main idea just being to use the planetary body as an energy source to maintain the ring. Because otherwise you're going to start getting yourself into trouble if you start needing certain amounts of energy that you just can't provide. Survive is buy a vial. So let's actually take a look then. 100 cryo. Okay. We are going to need food and that vial. Because if we can get that vial today, I think that'll complete a drive, which will get us an upgrade point. And obviously future-proof us. But for both of those, we'd need 115 credits. So I suppose we could start working at Dragos Yard. So this gave us some scrap last time, right? Yeah, but this has a +1 because of engineering. Ooh, shit. 1 point of condition doesn't seem shit, but that is real unfortunate. Dang, this scraps this time. Hey, 2 points on the winter light and a scrap. Beautiful. So that's all our actions, but with that, are we going to be 1 scrap short of doing both? Oh wait, this is the wrong place. Oops, that's not the market. $12 cryo. Oh man. I'm like 4 cryo short of being able to buy food and the meds. Fuck me. Damn. Alright. I mean, food, we're gonna be starving if we don't get it, so I guess we'll have the food today, and we'll buy the meds tomorrow. Won't be hard to earn the 4 we need to buy it. Just unfortunate that that's getting delayed like this. Oh, well. We don't have any more upgrade points, right? Yeah, alright. And so the crunch begins, yeah. So now we need to begin monitoring our time usage a lot better, I think. Alright, so we got a 1 and a 2. I really don't like that one. Ooh, right, Fang. Sleeper! Fang catches your attention as you approach the Haven Age building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. Easier to come in this way. Security and all that. You know? Slams buttons on the bay, cracks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators, diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with a blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blend into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around. So, you like it? What is all this? Taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the seas of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE-1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up to the Eye and think they're seeing a constant concrete reality, but this place is a system in constant flux, decaying, growing, collapsing into new configurations. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. At least, it's what I'm trying to do. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? Makes sense, right? You are between here and there. Between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. And that's what I need. You glance at the lights around you. And as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. But maybe I can help with that. See, there's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. Shitload of secrets. With your help, I could unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. Even in Haven Age, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and well, I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. What do you say, Sleeper? Oh, this guy can get that hunter, whatever it is, off our fucking trail? Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna be starting to dedicate a lot more to doing hacking shit all of a sudden. God, there are gonna be too many tasks. Too many tasks and not enough time. What a beautiful game. Oh my god, thank you. Little Pink, thank you for the suggestion. No clue if this is gonna become a staple one for us. There is a ton of reading that goes into it. But holy shit. This is scratching a planning itch for me. A gift. This is a Solheim cipher. Dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into old network gate and You'll be able to pull all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. Start by bringing me what you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are going. Those above have granted me an acquisition budget, so I could pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper. I'll see you soon. Alright, so if we dredge up info, we can bring back to him, though he gave us something, right? Okay, so we have the Solheim Cipher. So, Haven Age, Solheim Gate? There was another gate, right? So, yeah, we have the Haven Age Gate, the Solheim Gate, and that looks like all we've got right now. The triangles are agents, and these are key nodes. Okay. So he wanted us to bust into this gate, which will unlock nodes. That'll give us some data that he wants. So we got access, lost that cipher. Yeah, and a bunch of fucking nodes appeared. Alright. Yeah, I'm willing to throw a 2, and if we're lucky, another one of these will have a 1. So we can get rid of some shitty die for some good value here. So we got Solheim data. Oh shit, that one's a 4? A 3. Hell yeah, a 1. Alright. Beautiful, but goddamn, that's a little loud, isn't it? Alright. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. It's somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Fuck that! As you struggle against the thread, it tightens in response. Oh, fuck me! Sentient protocol unraveling? Oh, hi. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circling around you. It is blinding for a moment, then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity. Identify. Origin. Serial. Cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. I don't know if I want to tell it. Sentience questionable. Oh, fuck you. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. You kick off and glide away through the cloud, the threads surging after you like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you are held within a web of tangle of tentacles closing in. The hunter halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, the hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends razor-edge threads. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like a tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. The rotunda is hiding something. Alright. This boy wanted some info. Oh, are we gonna need 3 pieces? Alright, understood. So that is giving us a real decent amount of cryo. So we'll take those and we'll go ahead and buy our first fucking stabilizer vial to have on hand. Oh. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshira's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutching tightly in your hand. You open your eyes and a thin film, marked with holes and sigils, unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip and a handle. You hold the cloudy film to the light. It is perforated with ornate patterns of holes. You can make out a word amongst the markings. Passkey. This an entry key for somewhere? The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207F, then a crudely scratched into the handle of some later date. Low end. For a moment you consider going back to the surgery to turn the key, then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to low end and find out. Yeah, hell yeah, another upgrade. I guess we'll do that to get an extra +1, right? We'll just check, yeah. So we need 2 points to start moving up anymore. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a +1, because that seems useful as fuck. And so low end is the 60 cryo thing, yeah? So we actually won't be able to go past that. What we can afford, however, now is the 3 points of energy and advancing the fungus fan. Oh, yeah, and that leaves us with 3 more actions. So I think we want to... So we got 2 major options of shit to do then. Be to either explore the rotunda to find that thing that the hunter was talking about and see if that thing's willing to help defeat this hunter. We could work on Dragos' yard. Yeah, because we also have a 3, so we could also try to finish off Fang, who's going to cut off the guy that's tracking us to the ring. Either way, we've got 2 5s. We could use the 3 to get the data. I think. No, yeah, we'll do it. He wants exactly 3 points of data. They will give us fucking credits and shit and progress a mission. So I think that is useful. Good use of a 3. Oh. Or not. That gave us an encrypted key. Fuck. So this could give us 2 points of Dock Watcher. This could give us 3. Seems very risky. Oh, shit. And we got a guy in who is letting us buy scrap for 20. But I think the scrap, when we sell it, only gives us, like, 15? And then 1 progress in the ort market. So I guess maybe a way to get some fucking ort, but... Explore... Help Dragos. I think I want to put a little bit into here. Well, that's safe. And this is engineering. Dangerous. We'll do at least 1. Give us 2 points of clearance and some more cryo. And maybe, yeah, maybe we'll just split our time a little bit here. Try to get the Rotunda explored. Stay off the watch list. And try to progress a few different things. Oh, hi there. Hey, you! Want to a chit? And Kita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. You cross the docking contours as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is this place? Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Don't try anything, all right? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Good. Look, I'm not usually, let's just say my temper's been a little short lately. Come on then, enough chat. You gotta earn that chit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually, and Kita gives you a look. Ship's this way. She sets off towards a gantry at an impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of Stevdors. Me, why aren't I hiring those good folk? I've paid Haven Age enough. They're currently rinsing me for a mooring. Can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Her. She got cut up real bad on our last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell, but since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from the ship mine, so now she's gone dark. The upshot is that I'm short 1 ship mine with a ton of repairs to do. The rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind. I'd been stranded, so yeah, it's been a time. I don't know, got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours? This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I met here who might actually be considered helpful. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes bundles of plates through the ambergris's outer lock and turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. Alright, get out of here. Cool. So we got, what, 1 cryo or something? Oh, the Overlook Bar? Oh, so we could buy rations for 10. I mean, I don't know how much, or get a drink for 6. So right now, when we go to our Mushroom Boy, we pay 15 for 3, right? Interesting. Although it'll help us become a regular at the Overlook Bar. Holy shit. Interesting. So we've got a key, so we could go into low end, try to see what's going on there. Let's see here. So we have no scrap. We have a stabilizer in the key. We got 29 cryo. And we got an encrypted key? And I think we're 1 meal away from this dude liking us, but it's going to be like 2 days before we really want to spend that cryo on him. So I think that's just another end cycle. Oh, inject stabilizer. Alright. So I have no clue how much a stabilizer will stabilize. It might be a full thing, but then, you know, if you're buying it for 1 die, that's like 100 credits to maintain all of them? So that's probably not so... Oh, okay. Right. We are being tracked hella hardcore. Alright, yeah. Solheim node. You wanted a 4. Yeah. Fang, I'm gonna need you to cut the cord on whoever's tracking me, please. Here, perfect, yes, and we actually got it. Right, so then we leave and we come back. Yeah, there we go. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in a staccato rhythm, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. Those snaky shitheads! Sleeper! Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on loose bundles of cables and that blanket, the dark floor. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The table seemed to be filled with personal information. Names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. People, yes. But whose people? Bingo! I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners. And this one, this is a snaky shithead. Hardin Hurst. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in